Stargirl, The Lost Children, issue 2 of 6, and also The Flash 789. So I'll get things quickly organized as to the one I'll be reviewing first, and that will be, of course, Stargirl by Jeff Johns. And I must admit, I have really been enjoying this story. Definitely enjoyed the first issue, definitely enjoyed the second. Managed hold of the Justice Society 90s variant, foil or 90s foil variant, which was really nice. And a big thanks to my LCS for that. So let's get moving into the story, or let's get moving into the rating. First of all, in relation to the cover. Does this cover in any way, shape, or form connect to something that is outside of the story? Sure enough, it does, to which I give it an 8 out of 10. The next thing is, let's move into the internal art. Now, as we can see here, we have Stargirl and Emiko. And as the story begins, we have Emiko in the quiver, or should we say the arrow cave. And we see that, well, Green Arrow has quite a big list of things in his actual cave. And as you can see here, you can even see the 7 Soldiers of Victory, plus a whole list of others. We move into around the middle of the story. As the story progresses, they have a bit of a look into some of the members that made up the older sidekicks and where they might be now. And of course, last but not least, they finally take a bit of a journey to where they're going to end up finding Orphan Island. As we move a little bit further, of course, something happens, and they do end up at Orphan Island. They have a bit of an encounter. Emiko gets captured. And of course, we happen to have some old sidekicks somewhat make an appearance, but in their younger versions, including a sidekick dog, which is really nice. And they're sort of warned to get off the island. So, first things first. Moving into the next thing, the internal art for this story, I gave an 8 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the actual story itself. First things first, did we get any comic references, maybe leading to a previous comic issue or an issue that's gone up, but I might not have picked up myself? No references. Next area was that of time. To which we got no indication of time. The only things we did sort of get in this story was the Arrow Cave and Orphan Island in the area of locations. The cast of characters consisting of Stargirl, Emiko, we had Cosmo and Wing make an appearance. And overall story rating for this is an 8 out of 10. Thank you, Jeff Johns. I am really enjoying this story. Now it's time to move into Flash 789. I do apologize for how not so good quality the present reviews are. I'm presently missing some equipment, but until that equipment is returned, stuck with it like this for a while. So, moving into first things first, and that is the cover rating. Does this cover in any way, shape, or form connect to something that's happening inside of the story? Sure enough, it does, but I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the internal art and its rating. And whilst we're looking at the internal art, we'll get to have a bit of a look as to what's happening story-wise. And as things progress, we get to catch up with Wally West, Flash, and someone he happens to know. We also happen to see Captain Cold. We know Pied Piper is on the scene. And eventually we get to the West household, to which we get to see Jay and Irie West. Quite excited. It's nice to have some more family-centered stories within the DC universe. Needs a little bit more of it instead of all this bullshit, stupid games that DC really likes to play to degrade and attack the reader. That shit is not on. But wherein this, it's like a real lot of respect to the reader, but also a lot of respect to the characters. And this is what you really need more of in the industry right now. So as we move forward into the story, Wally West has discovered that it's actually Gregory Wolf that's somewhat behind the scenes of what he is doing here. We will jump a little bit further as we get a bit of a action scene. And as we jump a little bit further once again, more action scenes and the family get involved. Really nice. And last but not least, I'll just jump towards the end. And as things continue here, it looks like this character is actually might be a metahuman or has a connection or maybe even made an agreement with maybe one of the other or one of the contracts with another DC character. So for the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed the art. Now it's time to move into the story. First things first, did we get any comic book references? Sure enough, we did actually, to issue 782 of The Flash. Any indication of time? No indication of time, but you know what's coming up next, and that is just a very small event around The Flash, and yes, Jeremy Adams is going to be writing on it, and I'm going to be looking forward to that story. We got no indication of location, though I think it's meant to be taking place in Central City. I could be incorrect. But let's move into the cast of characters of who we did get to see in this. And we saw the Pied Piper, Wally West Flash. We had Captain Cold, of course, the Wally West family, and last but not least, the character known as Gregory Wolf. For the overall story rating, I gave a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.